who makes the drink.
Something.
Did you break my fucking blender?
No, it's good. It's good. It's all good. See? It's good.
Did you break it?
No.
Did you?
You don't need a detective. I didn't do it.
Why'd you pick it?
Hi! So we just watched Clue. It's the, don't remember the year that it came out, but I want to say the 80s. It's starring, Tim Curry, Madeline Kahn, freaking Martin Mull, all these awesome actors. The reason I picked this is because it is influential for my growing up and for being the awesome person that you see before you today because of the humor and the craziness that happens in the movie. So, yeah. Yes, we're gonna be acting as some of the actual characters from the movie. So I am the Tim Curry character, Wadsworth, who is the butler, and I like to buttle and keep the kitchen tidy. And you are?
I'm the cook. My jaws are tired. I'm not smiling anymore.
We had an awesome, fun-filled day, but this was, I feel, for me, the cherry on top because it was so freaking funny. This movie has all kinds of different little pieces of just greatness thrown into it. It's hilarious from the start of the movie to the beginning. Yes, it may start off slow, but it very much picks up speed, and you are just you're laughing the entire time because of stupid stuff, but it's funny.
You're laughing the entire time, yes. And it's so freaking stupid that it's funny.
Yes.
That's really all I can say to it. Yeah, it's so stupid, it's so funny.
There's tons of people slapping each other and falling down.
Look! What? The body's gone! Huh?
Mrs. Peacock, it's all right. Sit down, Mrs. I had to stop her from screaming.
Just saying silly things back and forth to each other, like, what was it? Oh, I buttle. That's what I do. I buttle. I keep the kitchen tidy.
Is this place for you?
Indeed, no, sir. I'm merely a humble butler.
What exactly do you do?
I buttle, sir.
I don't want to keep the dead body in here because I like to keep the kitchen tidy.
Look, I suggest we take the cook's body into the study.
Why?
I'm the butler. I like to keep the kitchen tidy.
Oh, okay. You got a third note going on.
Still
No.
I thought you were going to use it for like a rag or something.
That's what he's known for.
Hey, well, excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck are we doing? Jesus. That's...
Thick.
Did you forget your name?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You distracted me.
Good. So yeah, we just watched. That was my first time watching Clue.
That was my first time watching Clue too.
What did you honestly think?
That happened.
Shit. Okay. So old school slapstick humor.
Great comedic timing.
Comedic timing.
Great choreography.
The DP, I think, did an amazing job towards the end, following all the extreme movements. The camera was not jerky. It zoomed in, zoomed out. It was all real time. It was one take.
Will you stop that? No.
Choreography for the ending was amazing.
Oh yeah, the whole running back and forth. It's
Yeah.
like, he did it like this, and he did it like that, and we're gonna run back over this way.
And so obviously, since they were running and they were screaming their lines, it had to probably do what you call it when you go into a box and you speak your lines. That.
Voiceover?
There's a lot of jiggly tits.
A lot of jiggly tits.
That was MVP of the movie.
Who are you?
I'm the jiggly tits.
I'm gonna say it. Let's go back.
Replay.
He is playing.
I am playing the
maid, Yvette.
the maid. And you, sir?
I am Colonel Mustard.
And the theatrical release of this movie when it came out, I know, since if you watch the DVD, my voice cracked, there was 3 endings that you saw, like this could happen, or this, or this. Kind of like the board game, when you play it, there's multiple different ends, and you don't even know if you're the murderer when you actually do play the board game. So, I think they played really well with that. And when you went to the theatrical release, depending on which movie theater you went to, if I recall correctly, there's actually 3 alternate endings. So fuck you, Marvel, they did it first. So what else could be said about this movie? The set was beautiful. It looked amazing.
I'd like to live in that house. I like that kitchen, actually.
I think they did a really good job of how just wide they made the hallway and how clean they made it, so they can have the dolly move around.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty cool. The secret passageways that were in the movie were in there. They introduced every single weapon. They introduced every single person in the movie, every single character that you could play. I think they ran out of story. Because at the halfway point, they just retold everything again, but they're like Jim Curry. Jim Curry.
Jim Carrey?
Jim Curry.
Jim Curry.
Jim Curry. You all know Jim Curry.
Yeah,
so they gave Tim Curry, the comedic, beautiful bastard that he is, you're like, here's the plot. Just say it again. We'll follow you. Just do you.
A motorist.
I didn't throw the key away. I put it in my pocket, and someone could have taken it out of my pocket and substituted another.
Part of me feels like that was one of the first things they filmed, was just him running around reciting.
Probably.
It feels like it in my heart.
It felt very at early Tim Curry's career when he was just a fucking beautiful theater actor, and this felt like it felt like a stage play to me. Yeah, it was a very interactive stage play that you needed to quickly pay attention to everything that was happening. And I like that. I'm pretty sure that if you actually watch the movie and you pay attention to try to figure out who actually killed somebody, it won't give it to you.
No, I don't think. I'm pretty sure there are videos breaking down the movie to try to figure it out ahead of time who they think actually did it, instead of one of the endings that they threw.
Yeah, I think it was pretty much they did what they should have and just left it up into interpretation, but. I don't know, man. The ending was a little rough, but I think it's because the DVDs put all 3 releases in there. Everything else was just extremely enjoyable. The beginning was a little slow, but as most movies, you have to be slow to introduce the characters, and having the Angry Birds, having Emoji Movie, having movies based on stupid shit. That it should not be a movie, nor has a storyline for a movie. I think this did a really good job at actually trying to formulate a plot. Is there backstory to Clue? Like, is there
lore? Is there Clue lore?
Yeah, is there lore to Clue?
Is there deep Clue lore?
Is there deep Clue lore? I mean, I don't.
The boobs want to know.
The boobs want to know. Girls, settle down.
So big, they're full of secrets.
Settle down, girls.
The most they have lore-wise is the whole thing with Mr. Body dying. That is literally how the game starts.
So yeah, I like the slight at the time political humor that they were just jabbing in there.
I still feel it's pretty current.
Fuck communism or capitalism.
It's a red herring.
Yeah, it's a red herring. Yeah,
always a red herring.
Blame. We need our enemies, the Russians. And this movie was by far the most patriotic movie I've ever seen in my fucking life. God bless America. God bless money.
To the flag of the United
States of money.
Of the money.
Of the money. God.
To the money of which it goes to.
Remember, guys, corporations are people too.
Fuck them.
It is political. You're a communist.
No, Mr. Green. Communism is just a red herring. Like all members of the oldest profession, I'm a capitalist. And I'm gonna sell my secrets.
Clue! So, the entire plot of this movie is basically they're all meeting at this house. Nobody's real identity is being established. They are meeting there under mysterious circumstances. They all got a letter.
A letter from everybody has the same letter.
Yeah, and they're going to talk about what's in this letter at some point during the evening. So when the letter is actually discussed, it's all found out that, oh my gosh, these characters are being blackmailed and they don't know by who, and oh my gosh, the guy is actually there who's blackmailing them, and then oh my gosh, he gave them all weapons to kill the person who invited them there. Yeah, it makes total sense
Person that
to
they
me,
don't like it, I
because
guess.
that makes sense, you know, to kill that guy and we'll just forget this ever happened. Yeah.
The only way to avoid finding yourselves on the front pages is for one of you to kill Wadsworth.
It's not Wadsworth.
And then backfires, they kill him, and the guy who's blackmailing them in the beginning in the whole movie. And then it's oh no, who did it? And then they're trying to figure out, as Tim Curry brilliantly states, we're trying to figure out who killed them, with what,
With what?
and in what room.
And then they
Which is Clue. That is exactly Clue.
That's what we're trying to find out. We're trying to find out who killed him and where and with what.
There's no need to shout.
I'm not shouting.
I'm playing Scarlet. I'm Tabitha playing Scarlet.
And I am Lee playing Miss Peacock.
With some of the stuff that I had looked up while watching the movie, one of the things that I got really kind of like, again, it was just like a personal, like, small pet peeve with me, was the fact of playing the board game, and I understand probably for whatever reason, costume-wise or whatever, the characters didn't have the colors, but it was something I happened to notice, and I didn't think much on it until I looked it up. In the movie, all the characters' cars that they are driving are the colors of their board pieces.
See? Clever.
A lot of the props that were used on the set were 18th and 19th century antiques. Most of the stuff that they got from the Theodore Roosevelt estate. Someone get her an apple box.
I think the movie is very funny. I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. Would I see it again? Maybe? I don't know. I mean... Did you only watch it for Tim Curry? No. Yeah, I only watched it for Tim Curry, I will be honest.
See? Told you!
Knowing that you were absolutely the biggest diehard Tim Curry fan I know in my life. Yeah.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, I mean... It's gonna drive me nuts. I mean, knowing, like... And I like Christopher Lloyd as an actor, too, but I feel like his performance was completely overshadowed by Tim Curry.
Tim Curry's faces, movements, gestures alone from the funny dialogue.
And it's also funny because he was not the first person that was picked for the role either for the movie. There was another actor, I cannot remember his name off the top of my head.
Is he well known?
Leonard Rossiter?
No. Don't know.
Rossiter? Yeah.
So no.
They passed away before the filming commenced, and the second choice was Rowan Atkinson, but at the time he wasn't well known until he did Mr. Bean.
Well, here's the thing. We got Tim Curry out of the deal.
Yep.
I think, in thinking about the film again, is because this is not my first time to see it, and I've always liked this one as well, but the more you watch it, because I have watched it many times, you start picking up on some of the elements. And I know some others have said that the house is, you know, kind of ideal for shooting, and they did it in a very clean and consistent manner, the way they did everything. But also, I feel like when you're playing the board game and you're working through the mechanics of the game, a lot of times you're bringing in a little bit of your imagination. You're trying to figure things out, be clever, figure out how you can go from one passage to another or something like that, which, let's be honest, that's kind of a little bit like D&D. You have a lot of imagination component to it, and I feel like the directors and the producers of this movie, who are incredibly talented in their own right, absolutely decided to just kind of go on their own little fantasy and totally take the imagination component of it that you would have playing the game and make it real. And I think the more I watch it, the more I appreciate that, because they actually did a lot of things and I think, maybe I would characterize that person this way, or maybe they are a little cocky, or maybe they are a little snobby. I don't know. It's pretty fun.
And then also with the fast pacing of like the movie, like the story and whatnot, knowing that, well, later on I found out that it was John Landis, and this is the person who did, you know, National Lampoon's Animal House, Blues Brothers, fast pacing comedies like so. Like,
Absolutely.
it tied in. Like, you could, in a way, tell.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it probably takes a lot of talent to be able to do something that's, you know, translates to the viewer and is really complicated for you to do as a producer. So, absolutely. I see that more and more the more I watch it, and I appreciate that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a confession to me. In fact, the double negative has led to proof positive. I'm afraid you gave yourself away.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right.
For all opinions, because we are two people that experienced this movie for the first
There
time.
are also two people that are not in shot. Good, perfect. So I don't know what I think. So this movie also obviously wasn't a passion project. It probably started out as
Clue wanted to boost their sales on board games.
That's the only reason why this movie was made.
Capitalist America.
America.
If he was such a patriotic American, why didn't he just report us to the authorities? He decided to put his information to good use and make a little money out of it. What could be more American than that?
But regardless, whoever was in charge of this had fun.
Oh yeah.
The casting was fucking fantastic.
The actors probably had fun.
The
actors totally had fun. I would have had so much fun running
The
around.
set looked amazing and detailed for them. The kitchen was beautiful.
What I love about it is it didn't. It's heard my change jingle. What I loved about the set was it didn't feel like it was a movie set. Like, you know how when you're watching a movie and you just feel like you know it's a set, that if you go like 5 inches off camera, there's just gonna be like shit there, like apple boxes and fucking C-stands and all that shit.
Oh, you can't see it.
There's nothing see that. No. So just, you know, it feels like it was a real house.
Yes, it does.
You literally
Completely.
just turn the corner and now there's another room there. Oh, this is a believable set.
It looked realistic.
It looked very
sure.
realistic.
It looked lived in too.
Yes, you would believe that this was something that was lived in. It wasn't just sprung out of the ground just for, I mean, it probably was sprung out of the ground just for a movie, but you know, it didn't feel like that.
And since they had such amazing, would you say A-listers for that time period?
I don't have
Or have they became cult classics because of the movies they've been in? But regardless, without a doubt, so if I remember correctly, I think I scammed through some reviews, and at the time it came out, it was reviewed at like a 2.5 out of 5. And now on IMDb,
I'd say that
it's
makes
like,
it a cult classic.
Yeah. Now on IMDb, it's like 70 or 80.
Yeah.
Out of 100, cause math.
I guess they're later watched in somebody's own personal enjoyment in home. How you feel about it, I guess it just kind of varies.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's like right now with like the whole disparity going on with the fucking Rotten Tomato reviews, where Rotten Tomatoes is just like, nah, this movie sucked, but then everybody who went to go actually see this movie is like, it was a good movie. Like, you know, it's critics versus people who actually wanted to watch it out of enjoyment.
I think
that's how it just kind of lumps into that.
As a critical movie, I feel this is a good movie.
Yeah.
I feel this is a good movie to maybe it's a little too much of a stretch, but this would be a movie that a film professor would introduce you. This would be a film movie,
my film professor failed me. He never introduced me to it at all.
Well, then that guy sucks. Fuck you.
Oh.
A movie that theater fans would enjoy.
I would expect this out of a theater class.
Yeah, this isn't a movie that you show your kids. They're gonna get bored. This isn't a movie that you show people that are not into a slower pace, even though you said that it was fast, but the delivery was slow. And then it both goes to extremely fast, and it's re-explaining what you've already missed. So the pace is different than what we're used to.
We get a slow rising action, and then we get the first plot point, and from there it just kind of bolts.
Yeah.
Would you say there's a climax? What would you pinpoint as the climax?
The climax? Oh crap!
I'm trying to think where to.
When did we stop having the rising?
Because it was building up. I think
I think as soon no.
I would say the climax hits as soon as we get more than one murder. Like once the police officer dies and then the other dude dies.
I don't know, to be honest.
The singing telegram girl and.
I think the climax would be when as soon as is the eureka moment for Mr. It.
Mr. It, that's right. That's his name.
Yeah, Mr. It's his name.
Mr. It.
I think
Wadsworth,
Mr.
Giant Spider.
Mr. Giant Spider slash what other roles did he do? I'm sorry, Tim Curry.
He was a
Legend.
Yes, thank you. I was gonna say Demon, but he was in Legend.
All of his amazing voice work.
I was trying to remember his work from
Rocky Horror. Legend came out on the same year as Clue.
That's nice.
It.
I know he's from It.
But so, do you think
wasn't he in Darkwing Duck, or am I dreaming?
The Worst Witch. Oh no, yeah, he was. He did voice in that.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure he voiced in Darkwing Duck.
Would you say, Vic, that this movie accomplished its goal? So I know that when I looked it up,
it accomplished its goal in the sense that it entertained me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't think this movie wanted to be entertained as more as it wanted to just spread the news. This was marketing. It spent 15 mil.
Okay.
So the budget was
15 million. Budget.
It was 15 million. I was right.
$15 million budget.
But
America.
15 million was a budget, and it grossed 14.6. So
it was just under the.
So
belt.
So it actually didn't make its money back.
So that in cinema terms, that makes it a failure.
That's 100%
it is
a failure. But as all of us here, fucking noids.
It was such noids here.
Noids. This is a movie that I would recommend to seeing it one time.
If you haven't seen it, watch it.
With someone who has patience and
if you
wants to see the old classical slapstick humor, or the situation where just base comedy, where it's you take a ridiculous situation and put a normal person in it, or put a ridiculous person in a normal situation. That style of humor, this fits perfectly.
If you're a theater nerd, watch it. Huh? If you're a fan of Clue, watch it. If you're a fan of Tim Curry, watch it.
This is definitely put on the Tim Curry list.
Definitely Tim Curry list. I don't even have a Tim Curry list. I only know him in like 3 things.
I think. Now this might be controversial.
Uh-oh.
My bird's talking. If Tim Curry was not in this movie, would you have enjoyed it? I say no. My bird agrees with me.
Yeah, the fact that I had to pause to think about it would also say no.
There we go. This movie, as I'm getting flicked up off camera, I don't think would have the success.
We're very controversial right now.
That it would if Tim Curry was not being the main character and guiding us through the movie. And I say this a lot because this is the first time I've said it in this show, so I've obviously said it a lot. When you have a movie that you have to have a person guide you through the movie, it's usually a bad movie.
Yeah.
The new Sonic film. It's gonna be a bad movie because it has to have a character guide you through Sonic's adventures. Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
I love this movie. Totally recommend it to anybody who is any sort of fan of comedy.
Fan of slapstick comedy. It's a really good slapstick comedy. If you're not a fan of it, maybe you won't like it.
If you like puns.
But if you like Clue, it's a pretty good movie for the board game.
Yes.
Who does a movie about a board game?
Battleship.
What?
But
That's
that was
a movie?
shit
Are
movie.
you sure?
Yes. I mean, we could
There's
possibly,
a Battleship movie?
Yeah. We
No,
could possibly
there's not.
review it next, but no. Because that was shit. Anyways, I did have one more thing I wanted to say because I wanted to make this somehow incorporated with D&D. So I did a thing where I was like, I wonder who the characters would be if they were D&D characters. So I decided Wadsworth, who is the butler, he would be the paladin because he has this like innate sense of right and wrong. He wants to do the right thing. If you don't watch the final ending. But it just seems like he's like a good character overall, and most often paladins tend to be good. White, I would say, is a barbarian because she has some rage issues.
She does.
Because she killed her husband by cutting off his wee-wee. Like that. And yeah, it's not good. Plum, I think, would be a warlock because he seems really... I don't know. He seems very intelligent but not super strong. He seems like he'd probably be towards the back kind of saying, hey guys, do this. And I kind of figured warlock. Sure, why not? Scarlet, I can totally see as a rogue because she's super secret-y and she's sneaky girl, not sneaky boy because we got that already. Green, I think, would be a wizard because, once again, kind of weak, but very intelligent. Feel like he would be doing some majorly powerful shit from the back of the group. He totally kills it at the end. But Peacock, I could see as a sorcerer because she just seems like she has that wild magic thing going, which is pretty cool. And Mustard is a warrior for sure because he's
obvious reasons.
He's a colonel.
He's a colonel.
He's a Colonel Mustard. He's a soldier. So warrior, totally. And then Yvette, our lovely, sexy Jesus actor, is the bard because sex appeal, baby.
Yes.
Now that was Clue, and that's what we thought of it, and this was our review for Clue. And I'm so excited I got to share this with everybody here, because it's one of my favorite movies. I've seen this so many times. I've seen it at least 10 times in my life, and I'm going to see it even more because I freaking love it. Yes, Tim Curry's awesome. Yes, Madeline Kahn's awesome. Yes, everybody loved it, and yay, we had a great time! So yay! Happy, joy, keep watching us.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe, do it!
Patreon.
Patreon is also something that we do. I'm not going to leave until I know I'm done.
Coffee.
Buy us coffee.
Coffee.
Buy us a coffee.
Buy us coffee.
Buy us coffee, please. We need it. So bad. Last minute thoughts because bullshit for everybody who said they only watched this for Tim Curry because Madeline Kahn was in it and she did a fucking fantastic job. She was so freaking funny and I freaking love this movie so much and I've watched this multiple times and I'm gonna get stabbed and that's oh God!
So wants to do the...
You're supposed to turn the lights off before you did it. You're supposed to turn the lights.
Oh. Turn it off.